Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That caught me a bit on the hop. It's me, Mr. B, hosting a Monday night show, which seems a bit weird with a Monday down there in the corner. But we'll get into that after the show. Guys, you can't keep him out of the press just when we thought he wasn't going to be talking anymore. He's spoken again. Yep, it's our guy. It's that guy. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. How we doing, Pat?
Bad, Mr. B, and yourself?
I'm good. Monday night's finding me not in a good state, but here we go. Paddy, how you been? How you doing?
Very good, very good. Excellent, very good.
And the Monday hiding down there in the corner like I can't see. How you doing, big man?
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. It's kick off today. England had a great result, and the World Cup's kicking off. I just wonder if you got the bug yet, Mr. B, because you said you're struggling to get that bug for the World Cup. As a kid, World Cup was the big thing for me, and I'm struggling too at the moment. But after the result today, I thought, yeah, that was pretty good.
But to be fair, I had a good day at work, so I was able to finish. Once I knew I was going to be able to watch the game. I think the bug kicked in, so I'm glad I didn't miss any of the goals. I'm glad I watched the whole game. But no, we can talk about that a little bit later. To be fair, I see Paddy. I know Paddy's got something to say to me about the game. Paddy,
I'm looking for Ireland, Pat. Where's Ireland? I need Ireland in them. Jesus Christ.
Pat's quiet in the corner.
Let's go back and get a few VHS tapes out, Pat, to watch Ireland.
yeah, 1990.
All right, before we go any further, can we have a word from the sponsors, please?
Of course. So our sponsors are GMS. Welcome to the Man United Agenda, everyone. GMS, what do they do now? They assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. And check out the link in the description, guys. Thank you, GMS.
Right now, as you're reading the start of the Monday, that was me. I'm so sorry. As you were reading the Monday, look, we can't keep him out of the news. We knew, obviously, whatever he had to say was always going to be big news. He's spoken again. Obviously, Paddy, I haven't heard your opinion. Or Pat, is it? Are you siding with Ronaldo and everything he said? Are you disappointed with what he said? I want to hear from you first, Pat. To be fair.
Cristiano. I still love the man. Still a fantastic footballer. We're never going to forget him. No matter what he'll do at the end of their career, it'll be forgotten about in a couple of years, and we'll still love them again. We're obviously going to talk about the interview as well, are we? That he done for Portugal, yeah?
Yeah, we've got a couple of quotes up here, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably another 4 or 5 minutes of my life I've lost. just like that interview. I'm gonna have to go knocking on Cristiano's door and say, Jesus, I don't know if we use the term in England, but I'm like, Jesus, Cristiano, you're some spoofer, you know.
You're some what's that one?
He's a spoofer, a tin roofer.
Spoofer. Oh, okay. I never heard that
Oh my God.
Spoofer.
I was listening to it again today, and I'm like, I was getting is it PTSD when you get the post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. I'm losing it again. It's happening all. I'm getting flashes. I can see Piers Morgan flashing in front of my eyes. I'm like, oh, I can't watch this again. No way. No, I've had enough for it now, and it's going to take time for Manchester United to make a correct statement on how they're going to handle it. But it's only going to end up one way, and unfortunately, Cristiano won't be with us by the end of the World Cup.
Paddy.
Right. I've had enough of it, to be fair. I've had enough of these interviews. I spent watching both the sessions you guys went the other day. In the end, I was driven mad. Right, stop there, full stop. Right, I'm going to say this. This fella should never return back to the club, right? I saw the glory days of Ronaldo years ago. That's it. Never return back. The Piers Morgan interview, what a car crash that was. I don't mind having to go pop at the owners and the the ground, fine, full stop, leave it there. So, but then he carries on and carries on. And in a year's time, he'll come out with an interview. He'll say, I really shouldn't have said that. That's what I predict this now. He'll come in an interview and he'll say, I shouldn't have said what I said in a few things. And I apologize. In a year's time, or even, a year's time. Maybe I was thinking about it this evening, either a year or two, maybe a year. So it will be coming. And I'll tell you, we'll be talking about it on this channel. I'll tell you that now. So Cristiano, good luck. And you won't be coming back. Job done, we're moving on. All right. I saw the glory days years ago. Goodbye. On your bike, mate. In a nice way. I love you to bits. In a nice way.
I like that one. So give him a little pat on his head as you knock him down the stairs.
Just pat him on the number 7. You've tainted yourself on that number 7, which is such a that number 7 for us. You know, it's iconic. You know what I mean? It's enshrined, bro.
Okay, we're going to talk about Ronaldo to fill you in on all the details here. We've got a nice quote from Ronaldo. It's called Bulletproof. Ronaldo speaks publicly for the first time following a controversial interview with Piers Morgan. The 37-year-old's comments to Morgan have gone around the globe for the last week or so, especially on the Man United agenda. Criticising Man United from top to bottom, including the owners, senior management and players, while also revealing he has no respect for the manager, Erik ten Hag. The Portugal skipper has now urged the media to stop asking his international teammates about his future, describing himself as bulletproof and ironclad. The atmosphere is excellent, no problems. We are completely focused, he said at a press conference in Qatar. You can help by not talking about me. I'm completely bulletproof and ironclad. If you ask other players about Cristiano Ronaldo, talking about himself in the third person, I would be upset. If you want to ask him about the World Cup and the team, I like you to do that. So he wants the journalists to focus on the World Cup. In my life, the best timing is always my timing. I don't have to think about what other people think. I speak when I want. The players know me really well for many years and know the type of person I am. It's an ambitious group that is hungry and focused. So I'm sure this interview won't shake the changing room's concentration and the focus, he's saying.
Take it away, Paddy. I know you've got something to say. I want to hear it.
He's not bulletproof. That's just a protective mechanism. And you know what?
It's just his ego.
Yeah, and it is going to affect the players in that squad, definitely. I'll tell you one thing: if Portugal get beaten in the next few games, good. Out you go, mate. That'll teach you. You're not bulletproof anymore. You're gone. I want to see Portugal gone now, and then they'll be looking at Ronaldo and his face. When did this happen? I just want to see him gone. I know it's not being nasty. It's just that it's bulletproof. It's not ironclad. No one's bulletproof or ironclad at all after comments like that. No one is. It does affect players. It does affect everybody. It's just nonsense. So it will affect everyone. So we'll see what happens in the games coming up with bulletproof and ironclad. This is his last World Cup. He should be sort of like not complaining like this. He should be going out with a bit of style, a bit of grace. He's not, is he? He's not leaving Man United with a bit of style and grace. And he's not leaving Portugal with in a bad, bitter way. Sad.
Omundi, don't sit down there silent.
Yeah, well, let's just chive in with this. I just read this first time I'm reading this in full detail, and like I agree with Paddy. I think he's saying all the things that he's not right now. He's quite sensitive, I believe, and otherwise you wouldn't come out and say that. You wouldn't be bothered. Said next question, but he's put out the interview, and I think he expected his kind of reaction to be kind of positive, but it's been varied, isn't it? I think he's been getting a lot of abuse, and he doesn't like it. And clearly, they want to focus as a team on the World Cup. But why would you? He talks about time in there. Why his timing was completely off. Why do that just before the World Cup and expect people not to talk about it? He says, "I talk when I want." No, Ronaldo, you're under contract and you don't talk when you want, or you don't talk about the manager and undermine the club when you want either, because there will be consequences and repercussions. And that part of that, the smallest part of the repercussions will be being quizzed about it by a proper journalist, not like Piers Morgan, whoever it was asking him these questions, has really put him on the spot now. You know, luckily, he probably wants Piers Morgan to follow him around and do the interviews for him from now on, to give him softy approach. he's got to answer some serious questions about it. And I just found his comments as defensive and just like saying, "Oh, that girl broke up with you." You say, "I'm not crying. I'm not upset," you know. When really you are, you know. And that's how it turns out. That's how it seems to me. I think he's affected by this, and I think he can use this as an excuse to say another excuse because he likes excuses about his form, blaming other people, blaming other things. So let's see what his excuse is if he doesn't play well. And Messi, for example, checkmates him, as they see that little picture, haven't we? Checkmates him and actually performs better than him in this World Cup to once again stamp his mark as the world's best player or the best player of his generation.
Pat, would you go from there?
Look, my sentiment's the exact same. I was watching the interview and he's like, when I was an 11-year-old boy in Lisbon, I'm like, shut up. This is the Portugal game of the World Cup. No one cares about you. Just talk about the football. And that's him. He spoke for 5 minutes about himself instead of the club. So he got away with it when he was the world's best player, when he's the best player in the world. And now, unfortunately, he's coming to that untimely end of his career. And he doesn't have the prowess to back it up anymore. And now he just looks a little bit silly, if you ask me. And it's sad, but it happens to the best of players, and it has to happen at some stage.
Here's a question for all three of you and the guys in the chat. If he doesn't do what I think he's not going to do, I don't even think he's going to score 3 goals. I don't even think he hits 3 in all of the games that he has. What would you classify as, 1, a failure for him personally, and 2, do you think he's going to get a move to a Champions League club, which is what he obviously wanted?
If he scores loads of goals and doesn't continue on the current form he showed for Manchester United, I'm going to lose me absolute marbles with him. All right, because we've had to endure that form and the blatantly open goals he's missed for the last while that we took it as he was out of form. But if he goes in and scores loads of goals, is somebody going to take him? Yeah, of course he will, you know. But it's not going to happen at Manchester United again. It's gone. He's burnt his bridges.
You know what, Pat? Like, it's true what you say. The question is, would he go to a Champions League club? I don't think any Champions League club really wants to touch him. What he's done, he's tarnished himself by talking too much. And even saying what he's saying now, I talk when I want. Now, if you're a chairman of a club, are you really going to employ a player like that who's going to come in and you've got rules and you've got regulations and you're bringing a player who's just going to unsettle the dressing room, maybe, got the potential to do that and the potential to be a big I am and take over the striker role and start dictating things, you know? This is not what you want for as a club. You don't want to do that. This is why I feel he said the clubs weren't interested in him prior to this. I feel because he comes with luggage. He comes with baggage. And this is the problem, as we've seen. He comes to a big club in England, Man United Football Club, and he still causes problems and starts disrespecting managers like Ten Hag, who's on the up, who's stopped his high right now, and proven it by his results and what he's done by turning his team around. As regards to the World Cup, his performance, and by going to the Champions League thing, I don't think he's good enough, to be fair. I think he's lost a yard of pace. I think he can score penalties, granted. He might get his goal tally up like that. But I think watching the World Cup now in this heat, I see the George Ware's son score a goal, showed a lot of pace to get him behind today. Portugal, he hasn't got that pace, I don't think, and to get him behind. Portugal have got a very talented team. And this has always been the case with Portugal, but they always failed to deliver, apart from when they won the Euros recently. But he wasn't even in the final. He was out, wasn't he, injured? So Portugal got a very, very talented team this year round. I'm looking at them as one possible contenders to go quite far in the tournament. But I don't think it's down to him. You take away Ronaldo from his side, I think they'd be better off. Got Rafael Leao, who's dangerous. They got Felix up front as well. I think they'd be better off without him. So let's see how it pans out. And I just think the ego's just gone out of control right now. I don't know what you think about that, Paddy, but yeah.
No, that's good, Omundi, to be fair. That's a good way of what you say. I'm with you on that, to be fair. I think the only club I can think about is Sporting Lisbon that will take him on. But my prediction is that nothing will happen in the World Cup with this fella. Not at all. I don't think he'll score the goals. I think it'll be frustrating for him. I think his teammates, I don't think are on par with him. I think there's a feeling that they're not on par with him. I think it might affect him, so it might get frustrating for him. So I think Portugal will leave this World Cup early, I suspect, and good. I'll be quite happy with that.
Sorry, Mr. B, there's a question here from our man King, who's come to the panel. He's just quickly asking, question to the panel, still a United legend, yes or no? If not, why?
Yeah, of course he's still a legend.
Always a legend.
He'll always be a legend. But like Ollie will always be a legend. But there's a time when you hate your legends. You know, this maybe hate's too strong a word, but time will make that love come back. Right now, everything's still a bit raw with him and what he's doing to us as a club.
He's insulted those legends at the club. You go into that museum, and I'll talk about the museum at that club. Those players and those legends there, he's insulted them. He's not fit to walk into that museum. I'm sorry for the moment. We'll give a bit of forgiveness, but he will come back and apologise. He will do. So, but at the moment, he's really tainted his legendary status at the moment in a bad way, in my belief. So that's well done, Monday. I'm with you on it.
Just to add, sorry, Pat, Box is saying here, Portugal got Jota and Neto ruled out for the World Cup as well, and he's saying he still won't get into the side. I tend to agree. But it'd be interesting to see with all this pressure, and it's all I speak when I want in the air of previous glory that he has. Will the manager be doing a Piers Morgan on him and giving him what he wants? What if he has to drag him in a game when you need to bring some fresh legs on? Will he do that? You know, there's 5 subs. I think Ronaldo doesn't necessarily demand a place, especially in this Portugal side. He can hardly get into the Man United side.
He can't get in the Man United side, to be fair. He can't get in the Man United side. But I've got a little message here from Sarragan for Solo.
So saying Solo is in hiding today, or has he fallen off the fence? Because obviously everyone knows on the channel Solo's been in support of Ronaldo. He won't say a bad word against him to this day. But Solo bailed out. Yeah, he did. He had other prior arrangements, unfortunately. But he's in the comments. So talk to him in the comments and see what he has to say.
Yeah, abuse him. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind that at all, to be fair. I mean, look, the Ronaldo saga, is it going to finish? I thought it had. I didn't think he would have spoken on international duty, to be fair. I didn't think he would have disrespected his country and his teammates like that. Obviously, we know he has a big ego. My opinion is he's been crap, and I've been calling it since the beginning of the season that the team played better without him. Hopefully now, our team, as in our club, can move on to pastures new. He can move on to pastures richer, and he can get on and do what he's doing. I mean, look, we're in a World Cup. We've had England cause a chaos today. Obviously, Pat, I'm going to assume that you weren't too happy with England's performance.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Iran failed to beat us, especially with Carlos Queiroz now as the coach. I expected wonders with that Iranian pub team.
The dog and the fox.
Well, I'm telling you, when it comes to these competitions, you need a little go-getter at the start, and you couldn't have better played a better team. That's a confidence builder. He got some nice goals, it's a nice score, and there was some nice stats in it as well. Like there was 13 shots on goal, 7 on target, 10 chances created, and 8 corners. But that's some good going there. In fairness,
A legend.
what did you think, Paddy? Or would you like to go through the would you like to go through the Iranian team of Premiership players?
So it was a pub fight. It was the dog. It was the Royal Partridge Inn best 11, wasn't it? Or the Gibraltar 11 with the mixed in with the whatever other team it was. Oh, Jesus Christ. We'll see what happens. It was Iran. And I don't know why England they're getting carried away.
Hey, guys, sorry. The disrespect in this room is terrible.
I love it.
Iran are a good team. I give them respect. They're a good team. And any team in international football to make it to the World Cup, you have to say something about them. Apart from Qatar, obviously they've been given a bye to their host nation, and they've never really represented before or qualified. Sort of level. Iran, look, we say expect better, but this is how you break down good, solid teams. They've come here well drilled. As Pat was saying, they've got Carlos Queiroz, who's renowned at Ferguson, giving Ferguson new tactics to step it up and end up winning the Champions League. You know, he's well respected. And he set up really defensive, really well, and invited England to break them down, which they did. So you have to give England credit, because that could have been a dour 0-0 or struggling for a goal, like that time when England were playing Trinidad, and Peter Crouch had to ding, ding, ding on someone's dreadlocks to score a goal. You know, it's really tough in the World Cup. People are really up for it. And I expected more from Iran, to be honest, but I have to give credit to England. Let's talk about our players now, guys, because we've got 3 players that represented today. All had sort of varying performances. Luke Shaw set up the first goal, lovely whipped in cross, and Bellingham attacked the space and scored a lovely header, similar to Gerrard in the Champions League final when they drew 3-3 with AC Milan and went on to win penalties. Bellingham, it's my first time getting an opportunity to see him over 90 minutes regular. You know, it's going to be, I'm sure he's going to be a first team player. And also Rice as well, someone that we love at the club who's been linked with Man United as well. So I'm looking at Bellingham and Rice, and I think they look fantastic and will be great additions to Man United. But let's talk about Luke Shaw. Yeah, he was raiding up and down. He's the only left-footed left back in the squad. Obviously, Chilwell couldn't make it. So this is an opportunity. One thing about Shaw, he's really impressed us this season. He stepped it up again. He's starting to look like the Shawberto Carlos or whatever he used to call him, Brazilian.
Oh, don't jinx him, Jesus.
Come on. This is Pat. Remember, he scored in the European final last year. Let's not forget that. So just one thing
back
about
into Shaw, coleslaw, he will.
Yeah, really.
We're going to talk about the other players as well, but Shaw, I think he's done really well this season, and I think he's shown a lot of confidence now at the right time, tournament time, and the way he carries the ball out, picks the ball out of his feet from his first touch, he drives forward. He's a more intelligent player, and I think working under Ten Hag, he's on top of his game right now. So I'm really pleased for him, and it was a nice delivery, and he played pretty well today getting forward. So I'm really impressed by England. That's sure, but we've got to talk about Harry Maguire and Rashford as well.
I've never heard him call coleslaw.
No, that's
sorry. That was.
He was trying not to laugh, but Mr. B just kept wheezing.
Oh, God.
That one's sweet, man. I've never heard that one. Don't let him go back to coleslaw. Sorry. Where was I? What was
Rashford and Maguire? I mean, they're varying performances, but yeah, let's go.
What did you think?
Just say, if England was a sandwich, coleslaw goes well with it every time. That's what you say.
Let's hope it don't stick. If it does, it's coming to you. You're the creator of this.
Paddy, what did you think of Shaw's performance today?
Did okay against Iran. Let's see what he does against the big teams that are going to be coming up. Let's see how Luke Shaw flies up and down that wing. I doubt that very much. I don't rate this. I don't rate this player at all. Do not rate him. Along with Della, along with Maguire, I do not rate Luke Shaw at all. Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw has been to all the Qatari McDonald's. You know, he will be throughout. I say that now. Looking for the big back. I tell you what, brother, he is. I just don't. He had a good. England had a great game, and no disrespect to Iran. I see what Monda's saying, but England fair play. Bellingham was brilliant today. I thought Bellingham was brilliant today. It was excellent. Great player for the future. I doubt if he's coming to United, but I think Luke Shaw. Going back to the original question, I want to see. Wait till they play someone good. Let's see, because they are going to go through this group, aren't they? Now they are more or less. Now they're going to go through. So
but if I ask you a question, Paddy Wack, who would you compare Luke Shaw to in the league this year? Like, who would you take over him at the moment in the league? And you have to be able to pick about 6 players.
I think what the Man City left back for me is the only one I like. I like him. That's the one I'd have.
But it's a sad state of affairs. Yeah, when it's a sad state of affairs where you can't go boom, 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 boom.
I know, but
I think he started to play. I know I'm not being slagging him, having to laugh, but I think he compared to the show we've had to watch last year, he's doing very well this year.
I agree. I agree with it, but I just don't like this. I don't like this left back. I know what my left back is, and he's not my left back. No way.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
did I ask you what you thought about? I did. So that's. So Pat, did I ask? Right. We're gonna go to Maguire now because I know what's coming in. Paddy, I don't even want to. Oh God. All right, Paddy, how do you think Maguire played today for England?
he did all right. He did okay to fair against Iran. He did a good enough game. He got concussed in towards the end, but I think in a few. Do you know what? Few of the things when you look at that game, I don't know if they got caught out. England did a few times at the back. I know they gave away 2 goals, didn't they? But they got a few times under a better side. I think England would have struggled today. You know, I think they would have struggled against a good team, a better side than Iran. I don't think England were convincing at the back today. That's going along with Stones and Maguire and Shaw. I think so.
Yeah.
There's bits of that. I don't know if you can, you know, I know Omundi looks at his dissections and after them. I think they weren't steady at the back at all.
Do not make a good pair of Maguire and Stones, no?
Well, it could be Mings and Cody Connor, whatever his name is. They're the best pair in England have got. Unfortunately, that's not good enough, in my opinion. I don't think they're good enough. But talk about Maguire's performance today. Yeah, I thought he was strolling around the pitch. We had a lot of possession. We talk about this high line, but that comes with possession. He's always been told about it. We know what his weaknesses are. We don't like people running at him, and he sometimes gets a bit too blinkered. And that was exposed today. He made a mistake for their goal, to be honest. The ball was over on the right-hand side. They were linking up play there. Maguire came over and squared himself up, staring at the ball. And the guy who's supposed to be marking just came on the blind side of him. And it's like, oh, my God, Maguire, just face so you can see everything. You got to sort of stand at an angle where you can see the guy you're supposed to be looking after and see the play at the same time. He just focused on the ball, which you would call ball watching, and he got blindsided, and he has to take responsibility for that goal. And then I'm watching the game at work, so I didn't get to see everything. But somehow he got concussed by that. I don't know how. I don't know what happened there, but I was thinking, is he just embarrassed? Is he doing a Ronaldo here? Is he doing a Ronaldo and thinking of an excuse to play for his poor mistake or poor form? I thought that was a mistake by Maguire. But one thing I will say is this. We have to call people out. And you know me, I big up Maguire, and it becomes a running joke now. But I will call him out for that. He made a mistake. He let the guy get blindsided for the goal. And it wasn't nothing to do with John Stones. But after that, John Stones made 2 clear errors. There's one when Pickford made a save, touched over the bar. That was John Stones' fault. Once again, not reading it. Balls come through, not reading the play. Guy got in on goal. And like you said, Paddy, if you play against high opposition, it could be more deadly. And then there's another. Who gave away the penalty? Was that Stones again? Who gave away the penalty for them?
I mean, that wasn't a penalty, though, Monday. Jesus Christ!
It was a penalty. It's given. I mean,
all right. Can I?
We offside in the first game. We have to be really careful in the box. So that's 2. Sorry, last point. 2 mistakes by Stones, but you go on Twitter or anything else, nothing's going to be said. But people will talk about Harry Maguire. And just before the game, I saw flags from both teams saying Harry Maguire can't defend and all this kind of thing. So it's just trending now. It's getting tiresome. Let the guy go out there, play, represent his country, and hopefully take us to the later rounds or maybe even win it, judging by today's performance.
We played Iran. Please don't talk about winning the World Cup.
It does take, look, to break down a stubborn unit like that, it does take a lot. And you have to give credit. I'm sure there'd be shockwaves all around the World Cup now saying England look like a good unit. At least they've got the confidence now going on. This is how you get momentum. You score your goals. It's like, right, this is our patterns of play. This is how we did it. Now let's take that on for USA and Wales and try to do the same again. And if we do good performances again, then we can take it on to better rounds. And it's about confidence. Because there's not much between these teams. You look at England team, Portugal, Spain, Brazil, Argentina. They all got good teams. But things like confidence, lack of injuries, that kind of thing, these are the factors that can take you far in the tournament. So I'm quite pleased that they can break down a stubborn team like Iran and score 6 goals. That's really impressive.
Gareth Southgate still believes there's a lot of room to improve, Omundi. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's got to say that because obviously he knows about the opposition and everything else. And the improvement comes by coming up against better teams like USA. They're a good unit. They're being encouraged by today's result. And Wales as well. Wales is going to be like a derby, isn't it? A UK derby against Wales. They're going to be well up for it. And one thing I will say about Wales, their national anthem is fantastic. I listened today and I nearly had a tear in my eye. It was so passionate, so raw. And give them credit. It's the first time since 1950 that they've been in the World Cup. So really, it's great. It's a bit like when Ireland smaller nations are being represented. No Scotland, no Ireland, but Wales really standing up. And it was great to get a result against USA today.
We also had Marcus Rashford playing. I know England scored 6. My biggest cheer, and me running around the house was Rashford's irrelevant goal. The fact that he'd only been on the pitch for 19 seconds and he took 3 touches, one that way, and then the other one to score. I lost my mind. I know I'm biased. I know I'm so biased when it comes to Marcus Rashford, but that's the one. That's the goal that sweetened me the most. I think it's his first World Cup goal. It's another string to his bow, I suppose. The fact that England scored so much goals probably meant that he was able to come on the pitch. I'm glad for Marcus. You guys, I want to hear your thoughts, you guys, in the chat as well. And also, just a quick one. Of the 3 players, which one do you think is going to have the best World Cup out of those 3 players? Just out of curiosity.
Marcus Rashford, all day. Let's go team Rashford. I want Marcus to do well because he had such, him and Jadon Sancho. No, Jadon Sancho, him and Jadon Sancho had a poor ending to the last one. So I want to see Rashford do well this time. I want to see him continue to do well and continue his form that he started to pick up the pace at Manchester United.
Omundi, Paddy?
Go on, Monday.
Yeah. Either one of you.
Go on, Paddy. You go first. I've been waffling.
Yeah. I mean, I would chuck for Ratch when he came on today. He came on, got the goal, looked positive, got the goal. But let's just see against better opposition. This is, I know, I'm not, no respect to the, as Monday said, it's quite a good comment he made about breaking down the unit. They did well, and they did it all. Bellingham all through at the moment is fantastic. But I think Ratchford, if he grasps the nettle and takes his chance and does it great, because he's quick, isn't he? And he got that ball. I was chuffed to see that goal go in today. But the rest now, I don't rate the rest of them. Ratchford definitely, yeah, I think he's got a good chance now. Definitely.
Listen, you know what is Paddy? People around Europe, they rate Rashford. He's fast. He plays for a big club. He's been scoring goals since he's been at Man United, since his arrival. He's a threat. And if you're playing against him, you're going to, with that pace and running ability, it's going to be a problem for anyone. So I think, surely, what he did to Paris Saint-Germain, what he's done in Europe sometimes, he's really stepped up. And for England to come on in that heat, swallowing the heat, and for poor Iran, for him to come on the pitch after trying to deal with the star boy, as King's Football called him, Saka, I think it's great. Remember, these guys, including Sancho, they missed penalties in the shootout not so long ago, you know. So it's great to see them scoring, coming on. And for Rashford, I was delighted for him, especially the way he took that goal, because he drove forward and he thought, all right, here we go, Rashford's just going to blast the ball. No, chop suey, take you out for Chinese and cut inside and slotted it past the keeper, which was really impressive, you know. So you can see he was delighted. I think it was, I've seen some players in the tournament score goals and try to play sort of screw face, you know, as I say, it doesn't matter. But this is a big stage. I mean, you're going to get your name on the score sheet for England. That's massive. So I think England have got a lot of attacking threats. I'm really impressed. Let me just say this: Bellingham and Rice, absolutely outrageously good. I'm comparing them to the Dutch midfield today. Better than the Dutch midfield, better than the Senegal midfield I've seen, better than USA, Wales, whoever else I've seen. I'm going to compare them throughout the tournament. Those two are very good players for sure, and that's going to be the spine of the team, in my opinion. The only issue I'm having is the defense. I don't think they're good enough. I don't think Stones, when you got Maguire coming off and Dyer coming on, I'm thinking, man, that's not good enough. If you look at players in the past, I remember Des Walker taking Bobby Robson's England to the 99 semi-final and running up with Klinsmann and all these guys and really standing up and being representing. I just think, as you guys said, Maguire's got issues. He could have problems against really intelligent players and intelligent plays and moves. He could have issues with that. Same with Stones as well, as we saw today against Iran. He made 2 errors, like I said it before. But when you bring Dyer into the equation and Connor Cody and these guys like that, I don't think the backup's there. So I'm really concerned about England in the centre-back position. I don't think that's going to be their downfall when they get further along in the tournament. But big up to Rashford, man. It's great to see him come back. I wrote him off. I know Mr. B never does, but I wrote him off last year. I thought maybe he's not going to learn. But as we're saying with Shaw, he has a revival. We've seen with Shaw having a revival. We've seen Rashford having a revival. And I think the way he took his goal, it's just there's elements of Ten Hag there. Composure. We've seen his game evolve this year. He's playing little short 1-2s. He's not driving into traffic so much anymore. He's been a bit more intelligent with what he does. He's starting to learn his game, get a lot more wisdom, and hopefully it's down. I put that down to the coach of Ten Hag. Obviously, we're on the Man United agenda. 13 people watching right now. Make sure you press the like button. But I don't know what you guys think in the comments, but I think there's a lot of elements there that Ten Hag has made Rashford a better player with his decision making and his selection as well. What he's doing. That goal today was prime Rashford. I love what he does. Chop suey, like I said, order number 7. That was what the goal number 6. So give me number 6, please. Chop suey. Send the man out for Chinese later.
Anybody else got anything to say on Rashford?
But then, you know, he's got the consistency. My concern with Rashford is his consistency, though. That's my thing with and he's got to get more consistent and get. I know he's getting better and he's playing well, but I just want to see more consistency from Rashford. That's all.
Who of our players are playing tomorrow? Who's playing tomorrow?
Argentina playing at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and obviously
so we've got
Argentina. Hopefully, we get to see a little bit of Martinez. Is Garnacho's not there, is he?
No, he's not.
No.
So it's just our boy Martinez, and I think he's going to stroll out there the way he does. He's such a poised player. So we've got player cam on Garnacho Martinez tomorrow. Just guys, as you said about Gakpo, he scored a goal today against Senegal. Obviously, he's been in our books. We've been sort of spying on him for a while. Was anyone impressed with Gakpo?
He scored. If it's a 25 million, then I'm happy for Gakpo. If it's a 30 million, I'm happy. Once they start talking 40 and 45, I don't think these are deals that the club are going to make, especially in January. Yeah. I think we will buy. I think we will get somebody in January, but I'm not sure. Oh, we've got loads of players playing tomorrow. We got Varane. We've got Varane in tomorrow. We've got Hannibal in. Tunisia, Martinez and Ericsson as well. Ooh, it's gonna be we'll have loads to talk about tomorrow evening.
Ericsson, I always get worried. I mean, it wasn't so long ago. He was when that incident happened in the Euros as well, you know. So every time I see him play, don't you just have that sort of feeling? Think, oh, come on, slow down, don't blow yourself out. You know, it's a few concerns about Ericsson, but I think the Denmark team are very good. Best team, I think, since '86 when they had Laudrup killing it right now. So, yeah, big up, guys.
Yeah.
Anybody else interested in who we're going to be seeing tomorrow before we wrap this up and get the hell out of here?
Sorry, Pat. Martinez, that's for me, mate. That's I mean, if Argentina have got that defense with Martinez, then they're going to be awesome. That's it.
Pat?
All I can think about is chop suey and coleslaw at the moment, lads.
Look, guys, thank you for watching. We are back again tomorrow. I'm really not sure if it's going to be at 8:30 or 9:30. The best thing to do to eradicate issues, guys, hit the notification bell. That way, then, if it is an 8:30, you'll be there with us. If it's a 9 o'clock, you will be there with us. Paddy, thank you again.
Right.
Pat, as always, thank you again. On Monday, as always, thank you again.
Just quickly, Mr. B, with all this excitement, have I given you the fever now? Have you got that World Cup fever?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's a definite. That's a definite. Guys in the chat, I know we didn't read out all your messages, but sometimes that's just how it goes. We will be back tomorrow. Please, thank you. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe button. The likes are the things that we need the most because Solo's a real taskmaster. But from me, from Pat, from Paddy, from Omundi, and us on the agenda, peace out. Thank you very much.